very classic low pressure system. It winds up and moves off to the north and to the east, keeping us in the bands of snow. If you live down into North Georgia, that's where you're going to see the highest amount.
But the roads are a bad place to be on. A lot of slickness, especially on the exit ramps. People are finally starting to slow down, and traveling is going to be very treacherous, especially along the ridge cut and the higher elevations for the next few hours. And that'll continue throughout much of the day tomorrow. But while traveling is treacherous, here at the Sunset Cafe, people are having fun with an old-fashioned snowball fight. And I think I'm going to lose this one because it's 3-on-1, but everybody is having a good time. A good old-fashioned March snowstorm here in the Tennessee Valley. Really, it doesn't get much better than this, does it?
Well, this storm is definitely the storm of the ages, and it's something that we'll be talking about for a long, long time to come. And not just us here in Chattanooga, Patrick, but folks all the way down to the Gulf Coast were even talking about this. I talked to some of them over the weekend.
Yeah, people as far south as New Orleans, Pensacola, 2 or 3 inches of snow, almost unheard of for March. So it definitely spread all the way from New Orleans up to Boston.
Tremendous amounts of damage to a lot of downed trees. I think that was the big surprise for everybody, was just how many power outages that we were going to have out of this storm. Many of them caused by the snow, the heavy snow that had fallen on the trees, but also the trees had fallen because of the high wind that we had.
The winds were definitely the added ingredient to this storm. And you know, forecasting a storm like this, it took a lot of guts. You know, we were going out on a limb as early as Wednesday calling for 6 and 8 inches of snow, and for Chattanooga, that is unheard of.
Especially, I said blizzard a couple of times during the noon show. When I go back and I thought about it, I thought, gee, I can't believe I actually said blizzard for Chattanooga, Tennessee, but blizzard is what we had, and it was felt all over the southeast. There's only one March snowstorm in 1971 that we picked up 4.5 inches of snowfall. This is in the past 30 years, by the way. You can see the big one that we had, and a lot of folks will remember it to January of 1988 when we had over 10 inches of snow. But by far, this one doubles all those, Patrick.
That was a big one. It was a big one.
You know, as a meteorologist in forecasting, we were talking about how we were calling for blizzards, and we talked about snowdrift, something that you and I never get the chance to talk about as weathermen.
Unheard of, especially here in the South. Snowdrift is something that's 2 inches and makes up to 4 inches, but there's a lot of pressure, and before the first flake of snow fell, we were both very tense. It was something we were uptight. You know, if it fell through, there's a lot of pressure and there's a lot at stake when you're forecasting a blizzard, and until the first flakes fell and really started accumulating, we were really tense, and after that, the pressure started easing up a bit.
You know, it was, when you were talking about it, it was almost hard for us to believe what we were saying. At the same time we were telling you, we tried to believe what the forecast models and the maps were telling us, but it was hard for us to believe, and we never imagined that we were going to have that much snowfall. And my wife didn't believe me at first, so that's one indication that it was a big surprise.